So, me and Charlotte was having a conversation about this generation. So, I'm just tell the truth and shame the devil. So, we was talking about a celebrity that I will not say her name, how allegations about her came up where she openly supported R.
It
Kelly.
wasn't allegations. It happened.
It
Last time.
happened. It happened in like 2017 and it's coming back up now. I love her, and I said that if she said that back then, I'm a person that can literally, if she's not on that shit now, that I can like forgive that. And because I feel like we condemn people not realizing that we're all here growing and learning, and we were all force fed bullshit. And so I don't know, I have empathy for that we came up during a different time than my child came up in. I feel like my child came up in where she was raised where that shit was wrong. There was, I wasn't supporting that with to her. However, what she didn't realize was that mentally it was ingrained in me certain shit was okay. And even though I was fighting, what's okay and what's not okay and how I wanted to raise her, internally I still was battling that. So then we came up with, I was openly saying, like, I'm going to say this celebrity's name because I'm just kind of like done. And it's funny because, like, that was one of the celebrities where I was just like, no, it'll be no Beyonce or no Jay-Z slander. And I don't feel like that no more. I feel like celebrity worship culture is, it has to die. Because they literally use our celebrities against us. They use them to promote materialism and sell us dreams that literally are not going to be obtainable for the mass. It's only going to be attainable for a select few, and they are not even selling dreams that we should be wanting, period. So the thing that pissed me off with Jay-Z and is just like, you know what, fuck it, you can't read the room, fuck you, fuck Drake, fuck everybody. Like, if I could say fuck my own mama and my family, fuck y'all too. So literally, he decided that he wanted to do a deal with Target where he exclusively releases his album while us black people at the bottom, while he's a billionaire and all his material needs, I don't know if his soul and his spirit right, but it don't seem like it, because I think it would have told him not to do that. So materially, he is provided for. And so the people at the bottom who are struggling to even be considered human, struggling to make ends meet, struggling black merchants literally were denied access by Target through their DEI practice and getting rid of it. And so, literally, we decided to boycott Target. His answer is to release his album exclusively through Target. So to me, now, if anyone supports my enemy, you're my enemy. It ain't gonna be no more like, oh, you're not trying to backdoor the enemy. You're actually working with the enemy, and you're actually trying to bring the masses back to the enemy. No, thank you. We're good on that. We gonna go ahead and separate ourselves from whatever it is that y'all are on, because there might be things unbeknownst to me. I already know that. That I don't know. I don't know how it's working, why it's working, but I'm not working with that. If it's unbeknownst to me, I'm gonna go ahead and separate myself. So I was saying that to her, and she was like, well, I just felt like it's weird that that's what it took for you. And so I was like, well, the Epstein Island stuff came up, but there was still no proof that he did anything. They showed no documentation, so I'm not gonna condemn him for something that I don't know whether he did or didn't do. Then she was like, well, he literally groomed Beyonce. That is a fucking fact. That's a fact. But this is where we got into a disagreement. Kind of got into an argument. But she was the responsible adult in the car. And excuse me, I was gonna give you your credit, Miss Ma'am, but now you're being petty. You are. You're being petty because I was giving it. I'm not misconstruing nothing. I tell truth and facts over here, and I don't mind. Get your big ass, flat ass from over here. Ugh. Look like one of those horse flies almost. We are in the urban. The rural, excuse me. We're not in the suburban or urban area. We're in the rural area. But so this is where it went south for me, and I think my protective parts and defensive parts, which she called that shit out, which I'm proud of her. She don't probably think I'm proud of her, but I am, because she literally gave me a whole dissertation on how the fuck I need to do. First of all, she was very, very mature and was like, look, I've listened to you because my rant was that we grew up, her generation grew up in a different time. And so I wasn't able to condemn him on him grooming Beyonce because number one, is legal. That's the fucked up part. It was legal back then and still is legal in some states for grown-ups to court children and marry them, date them, whatever. Literally Georgia is one of the states. I think the age of consent is like 16, and so it's legal. You got New Jersey that still allows incest to a certain degree. Like, you got to read the laws. And so you got to break down them laws and see that they still literally allow incest. So we were raised, and that's when I appreciate her generation. Her generation is a definitely big key to change that we are seeking. And but I was arguing from a point of view. I was arguing from a point of view of a lot of us who grew up in fucked up, chaotic environments, a lot of slave mentality, a lot of the whiteness and the white supremacy ingrained and whipped, raped, and beaten into our head from generation to generation. We upheld a lot of the abuse that this generation is seeing today. And we were conditioned that it was okay. Even when we felt like it wasn't okay, we were conditioned by older people that it was okay. And so that's why I never really condemned him for what happened with Beyonce or what, was rumored about Foxy. So it was a culture that was fucked up and wrong. I'm not saying that it was okay because of during those times, but I am literally saying that, like, literally my grandfather, which my mom was born in the 50s. My grandfather was 20 some years old and my grandmother was like 12 or 14. So literally I'm being conditioned that these things are okay. So are the other people in this world. We literally grew up with buck breaking, breeding us like we were fucking cattle. Like, we were literally eating all that shit, beaten into this. I had to tell her that too. Like, we weren't necessarily always taught right from wrong. Even if we was taught right from wrong, we still were, how do you say that, like, inadvertently showed it was like a do as I say and not what I do. But if a child is watching what you do, a child is naturally going to go and do the things that you do. Some are natural auditory learners and can literally go from auditory, but a lot of us are like hands-on learners. And if we see you doing something, we're gonna pick that up. And so I'm just arguing that point. I might not even be arguing the civilized. I think I was literally yelling and upset. Like, y'all can't keep condemning, like, everybody based on what they did in their past, because some people actually can change. If we curate a society where we don't allow growth, because this is actually how this world is, like, you are here to grow and develop, and we condemn everybody from that time period, because I think they're seeing it from the time period they're in now, and that's great, and we need them to. But I also feel like I've upheld a lot of the things that I'm advocating against now today. But if I was condemned back then, I would not be able to speak about doing better today. So that's kind of like where my mind frame was about condemning people for their past behaviors if they really did truly change. However, if someone's character keeps showing up flawed, like, you have to believe them. And so she literally told me, like, I heard what you had to say. Like, now it's my turn to speak. And she spoke very well. She was literally like, my generation just literally wants a society that is ran right, and like just basically saying like we don't want to keep perpetuating this stuff. Like, we're not trying to cancel people just to cancel them, like, but why should certain people have fame if they're not going to do what they're supposed to do with it? Why let the same people keep perpetuating the same things with their fame and their fortune and all that stuff? And she was like, even to cancel a person like Jay-Z, like, literally his family is going to be straight regardless anyway. He just won't have the fame or the influence. And I think that is like why we need this younger generation, and why we all need to merge together and be on the same fucking page, because she is right and I'm right to a certain degree, because that's literally why only God can really truly judge us, because literally her circumstances is not the same circumstances that I grew up with. So what she can do now in this time period, I was not able to even fathom at her age. And even if I did fathom it, I felt defeated in even trying to make that vision come true, because of what I was constantly surrounded by. So I am grateful for her generation, and I'm saying it's a no for us, period. However, this is the important of history, because if we don't ever get to the root cause of the problem, and we just kill off, we keep pruning the limbs off the tree, because that's what I was kind of like trying to get her to see, like, you're pruning limbs, but the roots is rotten. So the roots are rotten. We need to get to the bottom of, like, who's at complete fault of this, and who is keep perpetuating this even through our people, because we can clearly see our people are being used as pawns against us. And we know that evil can hide through any race, any gender, any of this stuff, because at the end of the day, we're all human, if we're being it. And so, like, what we must do now is literally, we got to do what this new generation is saying. Like, we can't excuse abuse, period, from nobody. And that was her defense. Like, it doesn't matter, like, if it's me. Condemn, like, I need you to hold me accountable. Like, not condemn. She was like, I need you to hold me accountable. Sometimes cancel culture literally allows them people to sit out and think about what the fuck they've done. And then we get to see what cancel culture don't. Like, you'll get to see where cancel culture, I've seen so many people been like outed, and it was their time to like sit out and do the work on themselves, and they'll come back on the same shit. They'll just think that they have rebranded themselves, but like, I can see straight through that shit. Like, you still is who you is, and you don't care to change it. Like, you're okay with being fucked up, and that's essentially like what we're getting. And so I do agree with her, like, cancel culture can be effective if done right. I do agree with her that we cannot uphold this shit at all, but I also want this newer generation to understand that, like, my generation is a product of motherfuckers, like, literally programming us to think that certain shit was okay. And like, we're in the process of deprogramming our brains while trying to raise you not to be that way. And you have to give grace where grace is supposed to be given, and mercy where mercy is supposed to be given. But I don't want this generation to be foolish. I don't want this generation to be nice. I want them to be kind. I want them to be empathetic. I want them to be wise. I want them to... You can kill all of this the moment that you just keep holding each other accountable. Hold yourself accountable and hold others accountable. And if anybody is not willing to hold themselves accountable, you're going to allow evil to literally frequent you. And so, I don't know, having a conversation with my daughter, I wish you could have captured the moment of her just like, I swear, like she gave a beautiful dissertation on why her generation on average, because it's just like me, I can't speak for my whole generation, I can speak for myself and in a generalization, but she did the same thing for hers, and it was beautiful, it was intellectual, and it made perfect fucking sense. And then I also had to like stop and review myself, because she was like, it's like you're taking it personal. And I was taking it personal because I felt like her generation don't understand the abuse we had to go through. Doesn't mean they need to excuse it, but I do feel like a reason history is important and a reason these stories are important is so that we don't let them repeat again. But if you don't realize how they started in the first place, then they will most likely repeat. Because you too will start to do exactly what was done. And it's like almost like unknowingly you'll do it. So like you have to understand the full story, the full context. So history matters, which is old stories. Old stories matter. Current stories matter. And so does the future ones to come. So literally, that was something that I literally wanted to share with the world today. But I wish it could have been like genuinely and generically recorded, but it wasn't. So I'm trying to get the gist of it. But in this situation, my daughter was the mature one. My daughter was the one that had adult response to an adult conversation, and I got to see myself have an emotional response to an adult conversation, which allowed me to realize I was being triggered, and I almost was upholding wrong shit because I was being triggered. And what I needed to realize and break down was I'm being triggered because I'm not wanting to uphold this shit. I just wanted to be understood and heard of why I didn't see his grooming as like, oh my gosh, that was like the worst thing. It was because that shit was normalized to me. And just because something is normalized to you doesn't mean that it's okay. And you can understand it, but you don't have to excuse it. So let's keep going forward, because I guarantee you, if someone his age tried to talk to his daughter, it would be a hell no. And the times have changed. But also, we still got to realize, like, Republicans literally are still voting, no to the age of consent of being 18. And we was having that conversation too. Like, when you turn 18, like, you still are not developed up here to be dating some of these grown men who mindsets are not developed. They don't have no foundation in themselves, let alone if they have a faith and something outside of themselves or internally that is like way more powerful knowing than their physical being and in physical existence. So a lot of them be leading these girls straight to hell. It also isn't gender. It isn't just men. There are older women who pick up younger men. And they literally do the same thing. So we just gotta change. We do gotta know our history. We gotta understand what and why and all that shit. But we do not have to excuse abuse. We do not have to forgive people's crimes. We can forgive the harm and the bitterness and the hard feelings that comes with it. But their crimes, they will have to pay for. Our crimes will have to pay for it. That's just how this shit gotta work. Everybody gotta be held accountable. Our favoritism and immunity cannot be built off of favoritism for a person. It has to be favoritism for the whole. What is favorable for the whole? Our immunity cannot be built off allowing one person or a certain select small few people have their way. Our immunity has to be built off of what is best for the whole. That favor and that immunity is literally their version, their perversion of what was ancient and what was once beautiful and naturally done. If people really want eternal life, like literally, that's the answer. That's infinite. It will always be about the whole. It would always be about the best benefit for everyone. That doesn't mean that everybody gonna be, hunky-dory all the time. It just means that it'll be what's best for all. So literally, the ease that we're trying to move towards is not without challenge. It is without constant dis-ease for everyone. So while a select few have ease, but I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet. I just want to share that.